Training doesn't have to be filled with jargon and stress or loads of complicated intervals. Join Cycling's app makes it simple. Open it up, ride, and you will improve. Sign up for an annual plan via the link down below. La Vuelta Stage 20. UAE want to put pressure on Vingegaard. We've got the Bola del Mundo. It's the final chance to win GC. Almeida's 50 seconds adrift of the Dane in the red jersey. We have a 12-kilometer, 9% average finish, but the last 3Ks are on a goat track, 12% average, really steep. Breakaway's got a good chance in theory, though. 160 Ks. Ineos want to be in. They're trying to get Bernal in. Ganna pulling him. Kwiatkowski comes across with another teammate, Langalotti. They're going to work together. And you can always tell the intentions in break formation. What are UAE doing? They got Vine on the right, and then 2 on the left, 3 on the left, actually following, blocking moves. They are trying to control break formation there. A huge group does go, filled with Q365 riders, Eddie Dunbar, Ciccone, Landa, Bernal gets across. But unfortunately for them, UAE Team Emirates, as expected, wanted to ride to put the stage win because of the bonus seconds in place. So despite Trek having Verona, Bernard pulling, there's Bruno Armirel pulling for Decathlon, Tiberi's in there with a teammate. Big break. It wasn't that cooperative. It never really rolled through as a full pace line. And Ivo Oliveira and Bjerg were pacing. Jung was trying to pull it for Bernal. But Vingegaard looking pretty relaxed on this stage. And Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe, actually, we saw them lined up in second position with their domestiques. And in the valleys, it was hard because, Dunbar's got Kel O'Brien pulling super hard in the flat before the Navacerrada. This is the first time they got 7Ks, 8%. The last climb they do this and then turn right and do the last 3Ks 12%. But Zvihov, you can see Red Bull, they put him to pace. They want to put the stage win in and the bonus seconds in play for Jai Hindley, who dropped Pidcock on Farahpona back on stage 14. He's got to make up 40 seconds or so on Tom Pidcock. But how does Almeida look? He looked a little bit uncomfortable, but it was pretty hard to read into it. The breakaway splits up. The best climbers go clear. Bruno Armirel, Landa Ciccone, Jardi Vanderlei, and Egan Bernal. But they still don't cooperate. They still don't work together that well. And it was 1 minute in the valley. They start attacking each other. Soler and Ayuso are mowing them down. Ciccone goes clear, so it looks like the brace got no chance. Landa has a tiny gap here. Tiny gap. And then the camera goes haywire. You think, they're going over a speed bump or something. And then when it actually cuts back, you see that there's a protest. It was like a random village. There was no one lined up, and then the protesters ran out. Landa gets a bigger gap because of it. And then the peloton goes the other way around. They nearly all get through, and then the Movistar rider is blocked as the protesters try to, take another Movistar rider off their bike. Javier Romo already had to abandon the race after he was caused to crash by a protest earlier in the race. So if you got sort of caught off the back of that pace line, now that Ayuso's smashing it, you have a pretty hard job to get back into the draft. Landa's caught and passed by Ciccone, and of course UAE Team Emirates start to make the climb hard. First Soler, then Ayuso, then Grosjean. Now the thing is, 50 seconds a lot to take on Jonas Vingegaard. Where are you going to take it? Do you go early? But early, it's 7% here on a big road, fast road surface. Is he going to attack here, Almeida? Or do you wait for the last 3Ks, 12%, and try to crack Vingegaard right at the start and then maybe take more time? But the pace was pretty good. Jorgensen dropped. Pellizzari dropped early. So his white jersey, he could be handing that over to Riccatello, who's still in the main GC group. When they turn right, they begin the goat track. You see Jay Vine's doing the final lead out. Almeida's not on the wheel. So this is sort of classic Almeida. He's riding his own pace. He's a hard man to do a lead out for. He eventually surges himself. It's reduced to 5 riders, but Vingegaard is locked onto the wheel, and pretty much he had to drop Vingegaard straight away. To have a Vingegaard crack badly enough to lose that amount of time, it would need to be straight away. And he stops after about 600, 700 meters. Hindley then takes over. And we now have the podium battle influencing the race. Riccatello, he's just doing as fast as possible to try and put as much time into Pellizzari. And Almeida's suffering. I don't think this was just him pacing himself like he was on the other stages. He's on a gap when Hindley's accelerating. Koos is looking $1 million. Pidcock's battling. If he cracks here, Hindley could take the podium. That's what Hindley was trying to do. But through these hairpins, you could see he battles back in the hairpins, Pidcock. Then he loses it on the straight sections where Jonas Vingegaard attacks. He didn't look good on Angleroo relative to maybe what was expected. On Farapona, the stage win wasn't in play. On Moradero, Pellizzari took it. But today on Bola del Mundo, whilst defending the GC lead with Sepp Kuss defending and mucking things up behind, Jonas Vingegaard, puts a statement on the end of this Vuelta a España showing he was the best GC rider across the 3 weeks. He passes the 1 kilometre threshold where no fans are allowed afterwards. You can see it's a bit of a faster entry into this turn and no one's going to catch him back. So good on Almeida. He gave it a try with 3Ks to go. Wasn't able to make it happen. Vingegaard counters. Riccatello's coming back to that group and pretty much finishes with the group. Kuss, I think, would have won the stage if he was able to ride for himself fully. But before Madrid tomorrow, Vingegaard was on his way to his 3rd stage win of this Vuelta and the first time he wins the race after Kuss won it in 2023. So big win for him, and you can see how steep it was at the finish. Ahead of Kuss, he comes in second on 11 seconds, then Hindley, Pidcock, Almeida, Riccatello on 24 seconds, then Vine, Ciccone, Le Cerf, Pickering. Here is what the Dane had to say after the race.
You looked quite tired the past few days. How were you today?
Yeah, actually I'm, to be honest, I'm starting to feel a bit better. Today I felt better than the previous mountaintop finishes, so super happy with how things went for me today and how the team has done in the last 3 weeks. The team has been so amazing, and I couldn't have done it without them.
Take us through the last uphill and your attack with 1.2 kilometers to go.
Yeah, well, actually I was feeling, I wouldn't say comfortable in the pace that Joao and Jai was doing, but at least I felt like that I was not on my limit yet, so I felt that I had a chance of, or a good chance of winning the stage. So at one point I just decided now I'm gonna try, and then immediately I got a gap, and then the last few 100 meters was also incredibly hard, and I almost went into the barrier, so a small mistake from my side.
In terms of GC, no change in the first, second or third. Pidcock admirably defends his podium. That's really the biggest upset of the race. Huge performance from him. Riccatello takes the white jersey and 5th off Pellizzari on the final GC stage. So was a decisive stage, not for first overall. I hope you enjoyed the videos, and I'll see you with Madrid tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.